Hi everyone, and welcome to this week's Office Hours Live. So for those of you that may be new to Zenler or even new to this Facebook group, this is our weekly live show where myself, David and Rakesh are on here, and we go through a number of things with you. So firstly, good morning guys, Rakesh and David, good to see you here.
Hiya.
So we go through a number of things through office hours, and we'll walk you through what we call our changelog, which is the updates and the most recent releases that have happened on the platform. We've also got our feature focus slot, which David will walk you through during the course of office hours. One element of Zenler, the platform itself, that you may not be using. So we've done a couple recently and they've been really, really useful. So we go through that. And of course, it's your opportunity to ask us questions live. So if you're brand new to us and you've just joined us, we're getting around about 50 to 70 new people into the Facebook group each week. Then you might have some questions that you think you can't find something, or some real basic questions, and we're happy to take all of those whilst we're on the live. If of course you're watching on the replay and you still have questions, type them in and we'll come back to it, and we'll try and help you where we possibly can. Now, we do have lots of resources for you, and after the changelog, I'll quickly run through what they are and where you can find them. But we like to start off every single meeting with the same thing, which is I hand over to Rakesh, and Rakesh goes through this week's updates and releases to the platform itself, and this is via the changelog. So over to you, Rakesh, please.
Cool. Thanks, Kevin. Can you hear me okay?
Yep.
Cool. Yeah. Hey everyone, and thanks for joining us live on the office hours. You can basically ask us anything and we can try our best to answer what we can on the live. We start off usually by going through the changelog and show you all the features that we ship in previous weeks. Some weeks we have loads of changes. Some weeks we are working hard on all the changes and the fixes and on the infrastructure. There's probably not much to show. Current priority for next few weeks is basically fine-tuning what we have, and we're working on the stability, robustness of the platform and the infrastructure. So once we have all of this in place, it's adding features is pretty much easy for us. So I think what is coming up, just to give you an insight of what is coming up next is we are working on live pricing. So you will soon be able to add a price to your live classes and live webinars. And also we're going to add live classes to courses. So then you can then stream live to your courses without needing any registration. And also one big work that we are working on right now is page editor revamp. So we are revamping the entire page editor. I see a lot of complaints around slowness and stuff like that. This is basically to address all of that. So page editor revamp to enable us to produce world-class themes for you, and also to make sure the page editor editing is super fast and the page load speeds are really, really good. And that's something we are quite keen on to get out. So some of the features has to wait because there's a lot of work is going on related to page editor revamp. I thought I'll take this opportunity to share the screen and show you a small feature that we added recently. I think we haven't showed to anyone yet, though it's in the changelog. I think we did mention it in the office hours last week, but I think I'll show you that as well. Let me share my screen quickly. Share screen. Do you see my screen at all?
Yeah, that's all good.
Cool. So earlier, if you wanted to add someone to Zenler live classes or live webinars, it wasn't that easy. You had to manually register it for them. Now we have made it super easy. When you add someone via people, you can add someone to a live class or a live interactive webinar. Or if you just go to page, edit someone, and earlier you used to have all these tabs called courses, communities, discussions, funnels, and so on. We have just added a new tab called live, and here you can just toggle between live class and live interactive webinar, and you can select a webinar. I haven't created anything yet, so nothing is listed here. Once you create, you have your webinars and live classes set up. They will come up here, and you can select and register the particular person onto this particular live class or live webinar. It's pretty useful feature if you want to add someone immediately without needing to go through registration pages, or without needing them to needing them to get these links and then register manually and so on. I think that's about it from Changelog side. Back to Kevin.
Lovely. Thanks, Rakesh. And remember, all the while this is going on, we have our support agents here supporting you with any of the issues that you may be facing with New Zenler, and our development team working on not only the new features and updating the current features, but they're working behind to make sure that it's up and running and working as it should be. And they work tirelessly on making sure this platform is as good as it can be right now. And I commend them every week for the work that they do, because they're almost the unsung heroes of New Zenler. You know, and they do work very hard for all of us. Now, Kate, I see your question come in, and I will come back to that very, very shortly for you, and we'll answer all questions towards the end of office hours. So, but the next part of this is I'd just like to run through very, very quickly, and especially for new people to us, some of the resources that are available for you. Now, this is a quick whistle-stop tour for you. So there's three main areas you need to look at. The first one is the Facebook group, which is where you're watching this right now. Now, in the Facebook group, if you go along to the top of the group, you'll see tabs along the top. The first one you need to look at is announcements. These are ones that we deem to be notable for you. So it's a very active group, and there's lots of posts going each day. So we have to mark what we deem to be important as announcements. So you'll see office hours there, you'll see Wow Wednesday there, you'll see the Changelog in there. You'll also see any workshops that we're doing. David Zenler gets marked up, and then we remove it afterwards. So it's an area that you should check reasonably frequently just to see what's gone on there. All the new feature releases, when Rakesh does the post on those, do get marked as an announcement as well. If you go to the More section, you'll see there's also an event tab. And these are all of the live events we've got coming up. So we've got office hours in there. We have live workshops in there. You can see the day with Zenler is a past event that's happened. And if you're thinking, you look on the list and you go, actually, I want to go to one of those events. Of course, these are all free of charge. We don't charge for any event that we run here directly in New Zenler. Then just click that you're going. And what that will do is it will just send you a reminder on Facebook just to say this event's going to be starting soon. So if you'd have done it for office hours today an hour ago, you'd have just got a little notification saying it's going to be starting in an hour, just to prompt you in case you'd forgotten. So that's Facebook. We also have tutorial.newzenler.com. This is where all of the in-depth training, all of the masterclass bundle is, all of the workshops go. We've got our challenges in there. We've got loads of stuff in here for you. But I'd say the most important one that you need to go to is the Quick Start Guide. So if you're brand new to us and you've not set your account up yet properly or anything like that, just go and get the Quick Start Guide. There's the checklist there as well. It'll take you 2 to 4 hours to go through, but it does all those one-time things that you need to do, like integrating your payment processors, getting your branding right, getting your favicons in, all of that type of stuff. So it's well worth doing it before you jump in and start creating anything of note on there, because you'll have to go back and do it anyway. So once you've gone through the Quick Start Guide, go to the Complete Guide to Zenler and use it like a dictionary, if you like. Use the search function, put in the word that you're looking for. So if you want to set up a course, just type in course and it will come up with all the training related to courses. If you want to set up a funnel, type in funnel, it will come up with all the training related to funnels. And that's the best way to use it. If you try and go through it step by step, it will probably take you a very long time. So use it accordingly for the purpose of what you need to learn next. The last place you need to go to is our YouTube channel. So youtube.com/c/Zenler. And we've got stuff on here that we don't have anywhere else. So if you just, David, if you could quickly scroll down for us, we've got the new releases at the top. That's one place to note, because any new release we have on a feature or update, it's a short video, it's up to date, and it will show you exactly what you're looking for. And we normally do a walkthrough for you of what that actually means, and we'll show you being implemented. Scrolling down a little bit further, we've got the how-tos. The Zenler Pro user interviews is a really good one to look at. because that's you guys that have been using Zenler and how you're using it for your business. Now, all of these people have students. That means that they're paid students. So they're making money from using Zenler. I've just done one this week, which was a very, very good one. And it was really interesting because it was a one-page site that they've got on there, yet they've got 150 students in already. So it was a really good example of how to get people in. And just as a note, when that one comes out, that had a 70% conversion rate on that page, which is massive. If you understand conversion rates in marketing, most people get 25 to 30%. So this was 60 to 70% conversion rate. So it's a really good example of a high converting site using Zenler. So that one will be out next week. So look out for that. Just scrolling down further, there's lots of other bits and pieces in there. So the notable thing here to do is to subscribe to the channel, hit the bell to be notified when a new video goes live, and then you won't ever miss one. So they're the resources, and all of those resources are absolutely free of charge. They're official resources from the team here at Zenler. We do not charge for this, and the reason we don't charge is because we want you to get the very most from this platform, which is why we're so focused on delivering training, giving you all of the tools that you need to be successful with your online courses. Okay, that's that element done. So please, any of those that you want to get involved in, just go off. And if you need to watch this back, the replay will be here after we finish the live today. The next feature for office hours is a really, really good one. It's quite a new one, but proving to be really popular. And this is where David's going to walk us through, I call it the feature focus for want of a better name. Nobody's come up with a far better name yet, so we're sticking with that right now. But it's where we focus on one particular thing that's in the Zenler platform. It's normally a small thing that you can implement that may have quite a big impact on the way either your site looks or operates. So David, over to you for this week's feature focus, please. You're muted, David.
David, I think, David, you're muted.
Hiya, can you hear me?
Yes, that's fine.
Brilliant. Right, yeah, thank you, Kevin. Okay, so this week what I'm going to look at, Kevin mentioned it a week ago, so I want to get on to it. It's actually just saving blocks out. So it's a really quick one, but it can save you a tremendous amount of time. So I'm going to be showing you two methods, because you can save in the block. You can save the block out if you're a pro and premium member, but you can also copy the code if you're a free user as well. So realizing that there are free users watching this, I want to make sure that you're both covered. So if I go to share my screen here, I just got a block. Now a block is like a blue block, and then all your content is in it. And that's one single block. You can see down here, I've got another block. Now, as you can see, this block is quite complicated. You know, there's quite a lot of columns going on, different colors, text, and all this. And you might want to reuse this. I could say for a feature of this, you might have your social media along the bottom, and you might want to copy that block into every page. And it's really easy. On Pro and Premium, you've got this little save button. If you click save, you can just go in here and you can call it something like feature block, and then click save. Now, what that means is it actually saved it under the blocks. So if I open a new page up to paste this block into, I can go into this block and I can just choose blocks here, scroll down to the bottom to my custom blocks, find that new feature block, and I might need to refresh this page because it was loaded before. So I'm just going to hit the refresh here, and it will basically load that custom block into that area. So if you open a new page up, you'll have access to that block. And it's just a simple case of just dragging and dropping that block across. So my internet's a little bit, here we go, a little bit slow today. So let me just load this. Okay. So down the bottom here, come to custom blocks. And now you're going to see this new feature block has appeared at the bottom. So you can just drag them across. So here's some other blocks that I've already got, and I can just go across here and I can just drag them straight in to here, which saves you a ton of time to put those in. Right, now for you free users, let's go and do it for free users. So instead of, you haven't got the option to save here, but you have got the option when you click the blue block to come across to this. And if you click in here and access the code, you can copy the code. I usually press and hold the control key, hit A. Then I press control key, hold the control key, press C. Then I jump back into my page and I'll come down here to a pre-existing block. Let me just delete this out so you can see it from scratch. I put a blank. This is how I do it. I go into blocks. I normally go to a empty block. I'll take an empty block, put it in here, wherever you want that to appear. Once that empty block's in there, I just need to paste that code in that we just copied. So if I come across to here, I can take this code out, Control A, delete, Control V to paste it in, and click Save. And voila, we have our block in that's exactly the same as this block. And that's how you can do it. So that's how you can save a block. If you've got the Pro and Premium, it's easy to save it out because you can save up a library of blocks that you could use across your site. If you're a free user, just remember to copy that code. You could put it in a document somewhere and then paste it into codes as you move through the site. So that is my feature focus for this week. Back to you, Kevin.
And that's really, really useful. And I see people every week asking that question, just explaining the difference between the free and the Pro and Premium users, as in they'll look for the save button, but it's not there if you're on the free, but there is a workaround to it. Of course, we'd always advise going Pro because it just makes life a lot easier and you don't have to start messing around copying codes all over the place. But, if you're not in a position to do that right now, there is a workaround, and saving blocks is really, really good. I'm assuming with the code, David, and I will just ask because I'm sure this will be asked anyway. Obviously, each site that we have as a Pro or Premium user, we have 3 sites we can use. If we save it as a template, we can't use that template in another site, can we?
No.
So to copy the code, we can.
Pardon?
If we copy the code, we can.
Absolutely, yeah. You could copy the code, dump it into the second site, and then you could save it out as a block.
Yeah, so even as a Pro or Premium user, just understanding just how to do that code is really useful if you're running more than one site. So I thought I'd just throw that bit in there. Okay, brilliant. Let's go to questions. I'm sure you're all going to have lots of questions for us. So if you've not yet had the opportunity to type a question in, please feel free to do so, and we will answer those here and now live for you. So Kate, thank you for being patient with us. Let's come to your question first, as it was the first one in. So Kate's new to Zenler, so welcome to Zenler and welcome to our community. She's wondering if there are any plans in the pipeline to include some method of stock control or inventory. I struggle using coupons, and whilst having unlimited members in purely online courses for one-to-one training and small classes, it's rather clunky to organize.
That's a great question, Kate. So I think currently what we have is, let me share the screen. 1 minute. Share the screen. Do you see my screen?
Yep.
Yeah. So I think currently what we have is there is a way in sales report. What we have is in advanced filter. There is a field called coupon use. So maybe this is one way to filter out stuff. Or I think there's another way. If you go to courses. Coupons. I think there is another thing called a description. Maybe you can add some description if if you're using coupons for a particular student. Maybe you can add a student or some student's name or something here. So I think what you're probably looking for is some kind of a very detailed search or something like that on the coupons area. Is that what you mean, Kate? Let us know, and we can look at that later.
Yeah, what I do also, Kate, might be interesting to you. In fact, I do this with, I've done this on other platforms as well, not just Zenler, but I set up a Google Sheet so I know exactly which coupons are being applied to who, so I can put more information in there. It's really quick for keeping stuff off-site. And in fact, it's a pretty common practice throughout lots of things you're doing, especially if you're running campaigns. You're going to be wanting to put where that campaign is coming from, what page it's going to, how much budget you put on it. So these kind of things can all be done in Google Docs because then you've got management of your system. But actually looking at used coupons and things like that inside Zenler itself is pretty easy. And like Rakesh showed you, you can run reports as well.
Yeah. Hopefully, Kate, that's answered your question. If it hasn't, please do put another question in. That's absolutely fine. So who else have we got here? Bergier, good to see you here from Sweden with his hashtag live. If you are live, hashtag live and where you're watching from. It's always great to see. We have a global community. So we have people all around the world that are Zenler users in our Facebook group. So please do that. And if you're also on the replay, same premise, hashtag replay and which country or town you're watching from, or both indeed. That's always quite an interesting one. Okay, we don't have any more questions in right now. So, David, I'm going to head back to you again, and I'm going to ask you to do a little bit more of a detailed walkthrough on the tutorial site, if that's okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, right. We've got some time, so let's do it. Right, yeah. So I've got the NZ Mastercast bundle up. So this is obviously tutorials.newzenler.com. Come to enroll. So you enroll in this and you get access to quite a few. So as Kevin's already mentioned, we do actually inside the base page, before you go into any of the courses, we have searchy functionality here. So this is this accesses our whole archive of videos and our ones on YouTube. Any workshops we've run as well are actually on the searchy library. So you can actually use that to search. Now, the only problem with this is it's out of order. So if you're working through courses, it's good to work through whole sections, but you can still, if you're quite au fait with the Zenler platform and pretty much know most things, but just need to recap, this can be a real good way to do that, because you can put in here something like funnels. You don't even have to go into the course, and you can see a library of all our things that mention the word funnels in there, and of course you can filter that down. So this is a really good way to actually just check through everything and see if there's anything you're missing or any of that. If you want us to do live workshops, you can put that in there. So you can filter things down using this little function in here, and you'll see this on the top of lots of. So we've got a bit of echo, but that's right. So coming down through this, we have our primary Zenler courses. Now, Kevin mentioned this. You should start with the quick start guide. It's about going to take you about 3 to 4 hours to complete. And you can just use that as a foundations for your knowledge of the Zenler platform. At the same time, download this basic checklist. Now, it's not a course, it's just a PDF that you can print out, and you can just tick things off as you're working through the quick start guide. And then you'll know where you are, because we realize you don't work through all of it maybe in 3 hours. You might do it over a few days. So it's good to keep track of where you're up to, and then you can join the quick start guide, finish it off. And then when you've done that, you'll have a great foundation to be able to jump into our massive site, as Kevin again mentioned, the complete guide to Zenler. And inside here, you can do searches because it's so big. Guys, it's really big, and you'll be going, oh no, there's so much. We've covered every single thing. It looks worse than it is, because lots of the lessons they've been broken up into like 3-minute videos, 4-minute videos. So there's a lot of them, and it's purely so that you can search for that topic easier. It's also broken down into sections that make sense as well, like engagement and nurturing, marketing, course creation. So there's sections broken down within the course itself, rather than it be a linear course like the quick start guide. So second to that, and to finish off, we also have our secondary courses. This hasn't been mentioned, but these are normally courses that have been asked for by you. So we've set up these live workshops that we run most Sundays. We have hardware and software that we kind of use here, how to ethically copy a site. So things like a WordPress site, how to make it Zenler and better. And also we have like advanced ninja tricks for those codey people that want to get into code. And we've got branding and design and a theme block pack. Now this will disappear because Zenler are bringing out this page builder 2 that's going to have templates all built into it, themes built into it, and blocks built into it. And there we go. And as you can see, our course has got really good reviews here. So if you take this course and you want to give us a review, that would be great. So I think that's it. Back to you, Kevin.
Lovely. Thanks, David. So Kate's just come back and said, is there a detailed tutorial on how to do this with the coupons? I think I've run through the Amazing New Zenler courses. So I'm assuming, Kate, you've been through the Masterclass, the large course that we've got, and you've not found it in there. David, do we know how detailed the coupon one is?
No, that what Kate is asking for there hasn't been done. So I'll put that on my priority list to do that and add it to the course. And Kate, I will send you a link to it when it's done.
Right, so that will be in the next couple of weeks, Kate, week or maybe a bit quicker, but David's got quite a busy schedule at the moment. So as soon as he can do it, that will be brilliant. Okay, right, what else do we have to cover? No more questions have come in, so that's absolutely fine. If you do have any thoughts on our feature focus, if there's anything in particular you've come across that you think would be useful for other Zenler users to have a quick look at, then please do put that in underneath this video. And we'll always look at that. We're very flexible on the feature focus. We don't have a big list of ideas of what we're going to go through. It's often what people have talked about in the last week or two in the community, and we'll just pick up on it and go, oh, that's a good one. We'll run with that. So if there's anything specific, then please do put that on there. Right. What else do we have? So I've got a couple of announcements for this week as we're starting to wrap up now. So a date for your diary will be Tuesday, the 19th of October. So book that in. We're going to be doing a masterclass, live masterclass with one of the Zenler Pro users, which is all going to be around overcoming fears. Often as course creators, we fear a lot of things when it's our first time. We fear being more visible. We fear actually selling courses because then we have to deliver on those courses and those promises. We fear putting out, are we too promotional? Are we not promotional enough? There's a lot of fear around doing anything online these days. And I've got a very experienced member coming on with me. We're going to do a live workshop. We're going to go through it. We're going to have some exercises for you that you can take away and use. So when you're feeling that anxiety or that holding you back, you can just run through these very, very quickly, and that will help you. So we've got that one coming up. This Monday, we've got the first Zenler Live Networking. The registration page for that will be up today. It's going to be held in the live class area on the tutorial site. So that's where you're going to have to register and come over there. It's going to be myself and Alice will be running that on Monday. We're going to sort of see how that works out, because what we've recognized is there's a lot of opportunity with a big community to do a lot of different things. So we're going to open the doors up to this, and we're going to see how that flows along and what the community wants, and we'll happily facilitate that. So that's going to be running. We've got 2 scheduled for this month so far. At the moment, they're going to be every other week. That might change to weekly if they're popular enough. I'm not sure yet. Like a lot of the things that we do here at Zenler, it's going to be very much led with the community in mind. So if you guys want more, if we need to maybe separate time zones, potentially, that might be something that we do. I'm very much an all-inclusive. I like to work with people all around the world. And I know a lot of people on here will be in the same position. So we'll see how that works out. But Monday is going to be when we do our very first one. So look out for the registration page. It'll be marked as an announcement later today for you to be able to come and sign up for that. And of course, these are free as well. There is no charge for any of this stuff. So that's my stuff. David, have you got anything more for this week?
No, not for this week. There's a few new videos have gone into the YouTube channel, helping people out with certain issues. I'm going to be doing more. I'm actually away on Friday, so I'm a bit of a break. So I'll be back and we'll be hitting it with the live build. So we've got a day with Zenler at the end of the month, as usual. I want to restart up the live Sunday workshops, because now the basic marketing course with Zenler has finished. I've run the students through it, got some really good reviews, and we've got good results, page 1 rankings for people. So that's going to go and be turned into an evergreen course.
Okay, cool. Rakesh, anything more from you for this week?
Nothing else from my end.
Okay, perfect. So it just leaves me to remind you that we are here every week. We alternate our times because we, as I've mentioned already, we have a global audience. So this week we are at 10 a.m. BST. Next week we will be at 5 p.m. BST. Check out the events tab in the Facebook group just to remind yourself when we're going to be going live, and just click that you're going, and then just come into the Facebook group, which is where we stream these live. So thanks everyone for coming along on this week's office hours, and we look forward to helping and supporting you in the Facebook group over the coming week. So thanks everyone, and see you next week.
See you later.
Cheers.